Welcome, gardeners. Today I'm going to take you through a yoga practice that is designed to help warm and heat the body, and we're going to spend a fair bit of time working through our hips, both to strengthen them but also get them opened through the hamstrings, low back, groins, and just help to prepare our bodies for spending the day in the garden. This is not an advanced yoga practice. However, we're probably going to bring a little bit of intensity to certain postures, but there's nothing advanced about anything. But definitely prepare to get a little bit warm and heated in your practice today. I am potentially going to use 2 blocks. This is totally optional. I just sometimes like to have these guys on standby. If the floor, the earth is feeling a little far away, you can just reach down onto your block instead of feeling like you have to reach all the way. It can help out with balance and just overall make the practice feel a little bit better. And if we haven't met before, my name is Lindsay. I am a yoga teacher as well as urban organic gardener, and yoga is as much of my life as my garden is. I have been practicing for, 15, maybe 16 years now. I've been teaching for around 4, and I really feel that both practices complement each other perfectly. Our gardens nurture us through all of their beautiful food, helping us to be as healthy as we can by just putting abundant, organic, nourishing foods in our body. But my yoga practice is absolutely essential for me to be able to feel healthy, to move around my garden, to be crouching, bending, lifting, and doing all of the things that my physical body needs to be doing in order to tend my garden. So I kind of like to say that my yoga practice is helping to strengthen and nurture my body so that I can nurture my garden, so that it can nurture me right back with all of the yummy things that come out of it. So I hope you enjoy practice today. It's going to be roughly around an hour or so, and you're welcome to, if you're called to it, set yourself up outside, get out in nature, out in your garden. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you in just a moment. Grab yourself a mat, grab yourself some blocks, or even just a little bit of a, book or blanket or anything like that that might help you out with your practice today, and we will see you soon. Let's begin our practice in a comfortable seated position. Now I'm going to use one of my blocks, or you can fold up a blanket and just elevate your sit bones with it to start off your practice here this morning. It's always nice in the early part of the day to give the body a little bit more space. We're usually a little bit stiffer first thing, so just elevating, giving the hips some space to rest in is a really great way to start things off. And then allow your eyes to close. Allow yourself to start to find some balance through both the sit bones. Maybe have some wiggle side to side and just sort of find that base balanced evenly through the bottoms of the legs and through your seat. Allowing your mind to start to turn towards your own body in this moment. Observing and feeling how it is doing right now. Allowing yourself to start to notice where you might be slouching, where you're stiff, where you're tired. And allow your breath on your inhale to create some lift, some space, get nice and tall through the spine. Exhale, let the sit bones roll. So we'll begin our practice this morning in a comfortable seated position. I'm going to elevate my hips with a block. If you don't have blocks at home, just a rolled up blanket can help out. A little bit of height in our seated positions. Really lovely to start out the practice. It just gives a little more length to the spine, create some ease through the hips to help them settle in. We're usually pretty stiff in the early parts of the day. So do whatever you need to do to just accommodate and make your body feel the best it can for this moment. And then once you've found your comfortable seat, we're going to close our eyes and just start to arrive to this moment into our practice. Let the mind start to turn its way inwards so we can take some moments to discover, how are we? How's our physical body doing? Noticing where we might be feeling a little stuck or tight. Where we're feeling maybe a little fatigued and tired. And with each new breath, we're going to allow both the inhales and the exhales to grow and lengthen. And letting the inhales create a little bit more height through the spine, feeling almost like an imaginary string have a tug on the crown of the head. Exhale can drop the shoulders back and down, finding a little more lift through the chest. And each new breath, we're just going to see if we can create some more space through our physical body, help to alleviate the slouching, the stiffness, and anything that we can just simply by bringing our breath and our awareness there. Inhaling nice and full. And exhaling nice and slow. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now each new breath, we're going to start to bring some audibility to the breath. So there's a little bit of a restriction at the back of our throat that we're going to use and breathe with our Ujjayi breath. So it kind of sounds like the sound when we're fogging up a mirror. So see if we can apply that restriction as we inhale through the nose audibly and exhale out the nose audibly. So taking some time here to just get acquainted as we inhale audibly and exhale. Letting that noise, that sound of the wind or the waves continue to build. This is our heat building breath, and this accompanies our Vinyasa practice. And we want to make sure that it flows with us through the entire practice. So getting acquainted with how it feels now, getting comfortable with making some noise. Inhaling. Exhale. Let's take 3 more. One last one. Letting the eyes stay closed, we're going to inhale, hands high above us, palms finding their way together. Let them float right down in front of the heart space, palms gently pressing in Anjali Mudra or our Namaste Mudra. We're going to take 3 ohms to open up our practice. Don't be afraid to make some noise. Feel that vibration. We will inhale in between each, taking our first inhale all together. Second big inhale. Last one. We'll let our hands softly release. Coming off of our block, we're going to flip over onto our hands and our knees. Let the toes come together, knees going maybe mat distance, settling into our first nice gentle child's pose here, swaying the body on the way down. Eventually the forehead can come to rest on the mat. Let the arms reach out
towards the top of the mat. And we're just going to get heavy through the sit bones, letting them reach back towards the heels. Don't worry if they're actually touching. That's just the direction that they're being moved towards. Inhaling, still audibly. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more here. Inhale. Exhale. For 2. One more. Now on our next inhale, keep the forehead planted, but we're going to reach the arms so that we can lift up the palms, the forearms, and the elbows, just so that we're right on the tips of our fingers. And then we're going to start to wrap the triceps underneath us, trying to pull them back towards the earth. Feeling the shoulders and the upper back start to wake up. Inhaling into the upper back. Exhale, pull the ribs back and into the body here. Feeling your torso start to firm up a little bit. Inhale. Exhale, stay grounded through those sit bones. 2 more. Audible inhale. Exhale. One last one. On our next inhale, palms are going to ground. We're going to gently just drag ourselves up, finding our way onto our hands and our knees. Tabletop pose here. Let the hands stack under the shoulders, knees right underneath the hips, tops of the feet gently planting. We're going to start to press the tops of the feet into the mat quite a lot. Almost like you're trying to pick up your knees, but we're going to leave them planted for the moment. Just feeling the lower abdominals start to wake up and fire, feeling the belly naturally hugging its way into the spine here as we press the tops of the feet. Keep working with this internal engagement and drawing in of the core. This is important. We'll need this throughout our practice today. Inhaling through. Exhaling. Keep pressing the tops of the feet for 2 more. One last one. Keeping a soft engagement. You can let go of the strong press in the feet, but just keep it a little bit gentle. We're going to flip the fingers around so that they are sticking sideways towards the edges of our mat here. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears, find a little tuck of the chin, keep that belly hugging in. Have an inhale, gently lean forwards with the shoulders, and then exhale, softly make some circles around over towards the right side, around the back, inhaling audibly across the front. Exhale around the back. Now you're going to notice the front and the back are going to feel probably a little bit easier, but when you get to the side, the left and the right, the wrists and the hands are going to have a stopping point, and that's okay. As we move around here, continuing to inhale audibly across the front, exhale across the back. We're going to keep the entire palm, fingertips, everything connecting here as we warm up the hands and the wrists. We spend a fair bit of time on our hands in this type of a practice, so we want to make sure that they are ready for that. Once you arrive at the front, pause. We're going to reverse, so slowly make your way around the other way. I recommend eyes closed here. Keep the core drawn in to support. Nice gentle movement. Still inhale across the front. Exhale across the back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Go for 2 more, nice and gentle. Once you finish, let's arrive at the front. Pausing here, curl all 10 toes underneath. We're gonna sit our hips back onto our heels as best as we can here. Make some nice tight fists and then just start to go for some circles in one direction. Tight fists, go nice and slow, but make them really big if we can, just getting into the forearms and the wrists just a wee bit more here. And also you might notice we've got some heat starting to build up through the feet. So inhale audibly, bring the heat from the feet up through the body. We need that to warm the rest of the body. All right, softly wiggle through the fingers. We're going to stretch out, keep the toes curled underneath, but stretch the arms out like you're coming back into your child's pose, letting your forehead rest down for a moment. Really firm and plant through the hands. And then on our next inhale, without collapsing through the shoulders, we're gonna let the hips rise to the sky into our first downward dog. And the first one, I always like to make a little bit of a playful one. So we're gonna maybe pedal out the feet a little bit here, let the hips sway side to side, sort of alternating one knee bending and then the other one. Just keep planting firmly through the hands, reaching the hips backwards, just starting to shake out a little bit more of the stiffness from the body, preparing it to get more active later in our practice. Still inhaling audibly. Exhale. Let's take one more. And exhale, arriving at our stillness. Having a look to the top of the mat, we're gonna go for a little tippy toe or maybe a nice giant step. Let the feet come right together, toes softly touching, heels gently apart. We'll have an inhale, sliding up into a flat tabletop spine. Hug the shoulders back and down, little tuck of the chin. And then an exhale, bend at the knees a little bit and just melt yourself forwards, finding our way into our rounded fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, we're gonna sweep the arms nice and high all the way to the sky. Gaze to the thumbs, and exhale, float them down past the hips. Grounding here in mountain pose, taking a pause just to make sure we've got mountain pose active. Front body's gonna lift, so see if you can try and pick up your kneecaps by engaging the quads, lifting through the arches. Drawing your pelvic floor up and in, your belly button up and into the rib cage. Let the shoulders relax back and down. Feel yourself nice and tall, nice and strong. Lots of little things have turned on. Let's keep this with us as we inhale, rise. Take the hands to the sky, exhale, folding your way right back into our soft, rounded fold. Bend the knees as much as you need. Inhale, nice halfway lift. Hands are gonna plant, step to your plank pose, hands stacking right underneath the shoulders, knees reaching out from the hips. From here, start to contract the underside of your body while you gently round the upper part. So we're gonna try and hug the sit bones down towards our hamstrings. So we have no booties popping into the sky, a little arched and rounding through the upper back. Feeling that plank start to generate some heat as we inhale. Exhale. 3 more. For 2. 1 last one. Inhale here. Exhale, softly bring the knees down to the mat. Hug the elbows back. Reach the heart forward, slowly bend through the elbows. We're gonna come all the way down onto our belly. Keep the hands stacked right underneath the elbows. Have an inhale. Lift the heart in the chest, lift the belly, lift the kneecaps, cobra pose. Exhale, curl through the toes, glide your way back through child's pose. Strong hands as we rise on an inhale, taking those hips back up to the sky, arriving in our downward dog once again. Inhale, right leg's gonna reach up into 3-legged dog, and we're just gonna get as high as we can here. Bend at the knee. Bring the heel towards your butt, and then start to see if you can peel open the right hip flexor to try and face the sky. Now counter it with pulling your right shoulder back down to earth, because it's gonna try and go with your hip. Inhaling full. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale, take that right leg back to the sky. Exhale it down, settle into your down dog once again. Firm up your down dog, wrap those triceps underneath, get nice and stable. We're gonna take our left leg, rise it to the sky. Exhale, bring heel towards our butt, and then inhale, see if you can pop that left hip flexor open. On an exhale, we're gonna drop through the left shoulder, bring it back down. So we've got sort of two opposing motions happening here. Take one more breath. Inhale, reach the leg back to the sky. Exhale, floating it down to the earth. We're gonna have a look to the top of our mat, and again, a step, a tippy toe, or maybe a giant hop if you're ready for it. The feet are gonna settle at the top. Inhale, sliding right up into nice halfway lifted position, long tailbone, point it to the sky, get those sit bones rising. Exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, root through those heels, push tall, lift up. Exhale, float the hands right down beside the hips, moving through one more vinyasa here to build some heat through the body. Let's inhale tall. Exhale, softly fold. Exhale your way back down. Gentle rounded forward fold. Open the undersides of the sit bones to the sky. Keep them there as you inhale, finding a nice halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back. Let's find our plank. Holding here in our plank pose. So very, very active posture here. See if you can push the floor away. Pull pubic bone into belly button. Arch and round, see if you can get a little bit stronger through the upper back. Gauge through the quads, everything's firing here. You got this for 3. 2 more breaths. Last one. Inhale where you are. Exhale, bring the knees gently to the earth. We're going to take chaturanga from our knees, hug the elbows in, slowly lower all the way down. Inhale, picking up the upper back, hug the shoulders back and down, lift through the belly, lift through the knees. Exhale, softly glide back through child's pose, toes curl. We're going to inhale, pop our way back up, finding our downward dog. Pull the low ribs back and in, maybe a micro bend at the knees as the sit bones rise and reach. One more inhale in stillness. Right leg, inhale, rise it up. Exhale, we're gonna bring our heel towards our butt. Have an inhale, pop that hip open. Holding here. A little bit of a shorter hold, one more breath. Inhale, right leg rising to the sky. We're gonna pull it all the way forward to the top of our mat, dropping the back knee all the way down, coming into our low lunge position here. We're gonna take hands to the hips, maybe even towards the lower back here, and just use it to help you scoop the sit bones underneath, getting into that left hip flexor. Hug the shoulders back and down, lift through the heart, gaze to the sky. Finding a little bit of lift through the sternum, finding soft back bend, nothing too crazy just yet. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more. One more. We're going to inhale, take the hands to the sky. Exhale, frame the front foot with your hands, curl through the back toes. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of a push and elevate through the back leg. Now you can use your block if you've got 2 blocks, 1 block, or you can bring the hands right to the earth, doesn't matter. We're going to hold here, reach through that left heel, and then an exhale, we're going to soften and fold over our supporting leg. Now, doing whatever you can to support through the hands so you've got lots of balance here. See if you can hug the belly up and in. Maybe fold at the hips and soften a little bit deeper. Elevating and engaging through the left leg, finding the glutes. So each time we come into a forward fold, we're trying to take the sit bones to the sky and open those hamstrings a little bit more. And one more breath here in our standing splits. And then exhale, start to bend through that front leg. Trust yourself, reach that back foot all the way to the back. Bend the front knee, we're gonna come into our crescent lunge position, so back leg staying lifted this time. Inhale, arms reaching to the sky. Gaze through the hands, sit bones hugging underneath. Lift and engage through the core to support. Soften the shoulders back and down. Push that back heel, get strong here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Last breath. Exhale, frame the front foot, bring the hands back down. We're gonna curl, or keep the back toes curled rather. Inhale, let's pull the front foot back to the sky, three-legged dog. Take an inhale, reach it tall, and exhale, setting it down. Grounding here. Inhale. And exhale. Left leg rising, big reach. Exhale, bring the heel towards your butt. Have an inhale, pop open that hip flexor. Really getting into those hips today. Stay grounded and balanced through the shoulders. One more breath. Inhale, reach the left leg to the sky. Glide it forwards to the top of the mat. Scooch it, hop it. Back knee's gonna drop. Our low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Bringing the hands to the low back and sacrum. Help them to scoop the sit bones. Drop through the shoulders. Lift through the sternum. Let the gaze rise up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. We're going to take an inhale, hands to the sky. Gently frame the front foot. Curl through the back toes, giving ourselves a little push so that back leg lifts and rises. So hands can stay on the floor or you can use your blocks. And then we're going to exhale and let the torso fold its way down and over our supporting leg. Keep your lifted leg nice and strong and active. Don't let it get lazy. Flex through that foot, reach through the heel. Inhale, draw the belly up and into the ribs again. Exhale, maybe see if you can fold a little deeper. Inhale, relax through the shoulders. Exhale, nice and steady. 2 more breaths. One last one. Inhale, rise through the spine just a little bit. Bend through the front knee. Trust yourself. Back toes coming down. We're going to land in our lunge. Nice preparation here as we inhale up, crescent lunge. Squeeze an imaginary block in between the hands. Nice strong back leg. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot. We're going to sweep our front leg all the way back to the sky. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, soften it down, settling into our downward dog. So we're going to stay for a few breaths here in static down dog. Wrapping triceps underneath, pulling the low ribs back and in, so really firming up through the torso and the support. Checking in that you have even balance through the hands. Pull some weight forward into the knuckles. Put a little pressure into the index finger mound. Grip through the mat. So we're not just hanging out into the wrist. Inhale. Exhale. Having a look to the top of the mat, we're going to tippy toe, step, or hop our way all the way there. Bring the feet right together. Inhale, nice halfway lift, tabletop spine. Exhaling our way all the way down, Uttanasana, rounded fold. Have an inhale, rise, big sweep to the sky. Exhale. Settling into our mountain pose. So feet together, toes softly touching, heels gently apart. We're gonna sweep into our chair pose. So inhale, sit the hips back, keep the weight into the heels. Gaze through the hands, hands softly forward and lifted. They don't have to get too crazy high, but keep the shoulders dropped. Find a little lift through the belly and a baby tuck through the sit bones. Squeeze the inner thighs. Keep the weight back into the heels. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. One more inhale. Exhale, soften and fold into your rounded forward fold once again. Inhale, nice halfway lift. Exhale, hands are gonna plant, step back, finding plank. Getting ready for that plank, nice and fiery, nice and strong. We should be feeling pretty warm by now. This is good. This is what the tissues need for us to open. So keep tucking through those sit bones. Rounding through the upper back, engaging through the quads. If the whole body's quivering and shaking, that's okay, let it. We're warming and strengthening our beautiful bodies. 2 more. One last one. Lowering your way through your chaturanga. So if straight leg version is in your practice, go for it. We're still gonna come all the way down to the earth. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, toes curl, back we go, down dog. Right leg, reach it to the sky. Exhale, bring and heel towards our butt, bend at that knee. Inhale, popping the hip open. Exhale, sweep the right leg to the top of the mat. We're gonna come into our warrior two, so it's a decently long stance. Back foot rolling down, line up those heels. Front knee bending, stacking over the ankle. And then we're gonna have a fun little windmill all the way up. Exhale, bending nice and strong through that front knee. Now before we settle in, just take a quick minute. Make sure the hip, the knee, and the middle toe are all tracking in the same line. Sometimes that knee tries to fall in, so use the outer leg muscles to pull it and open it. Push and ground through the outside of the back foot. Inhale, lift tall through the crown. Exhale, stacking shoulders over hips. Maybe get a little deeper through that knee bend. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, let's reach to the sky. Exhale, switch. So bring your back toe to face the other end of your mat and flipping the other foot around. So a little fancy footwork. Checking in, heel to heel still. And we're gonna drop right into our warrior two, other side. Now, sometimes we can get a little out of sorts with where our feet and our legs end up, so feel free to readjust anywhere you feel you need to. Shoulder stacking, making sure we got that straight line, all the joints are happy in our left leg now. Nice deep bend through the front leg. Don't forget about the back foot. Try and keep active through both. Inhaling, keeping that audible Ujjayi breath. 2 more. One last one. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, we're gonna spin to face our new front of the mat, which is our back of the mat. Frame the front foot. Step back, plank pose, you got it. We're only gonna be here for one big breath though. Inhale, exhale, lower through chaturanga. Dog this round, take an up dog. Shine that heart forward, strong lifted core. Exhale, back we go. Meeting in our down dog. Inhaling right leg, reach it tall. Exhale, bring the heel towards the butt. Inhale, pop that right hip open, stay grounded through the right shoulder. Inhale, bring right leg back to the sky. Sweep it forwards, find warrior two once again. Roll the back heel down while you can see those feet really well. Get that alignment happening. Spin all the way up.
Exhale. Settling in here, gazing over that middle finger. Charging. Warrior energy. See if you can lift through the arches, lift through the toes, wake up the legs a little bit more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale. Arms to the sky, straighten the front leg. We're going to spin back around, finding our warrior two, facing the other end, left leg forwards, checking in. My feet didn't quite land up where I want them, so I'm going to readjust, get that heel to heel alignment, sink back in. Warrior two. Inhale, lift and engage. The butt sticking out, pull it back underneath you. Inhaling. Exhale. Big breaths. Keep steady and grounded through your breath. One more. Inhale. Arms to the sky, straighten the front leg. Exhale, we're gonna frame the front foot. Step back, find plank. So we're gonna take ourselves a vinyasa again from our plank, lowering through to our chaturanga, cobra, or if you're taking an up dog, go for it. And back, exhale. Settle in, find down dog. Let's have a look to the top of the mat. Tippy toe, step, or hop. Bring those feet right together. Inhale. Yummy halfway lift. Full inhale. Exhale. Melt it out. We're going to sink into our chair. So let the arms sweep and the hips drop. Squeezing through the thighs. Keeping the shoulders drop. Let the hands elevate only as much as those shoulders stay heavy. Nice and tall through the heart and chest. Lift from the inner belly. Pull the weight back into the heels. Make sure you are breathing. One more. Inhale, rise up to the sky. Exhale, take a moment, ground and mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, draw the right knee up and into the body. And then we're gonna sweep it all the way back. Big long step. Internally rotate both of your feet so that our outside edges of our feet are roughly parallel to the edges of the mat. Inhale, lift tall. Exhale, start to hinge at the sit bones. Strong legs. Micro bend in the knees. Let the hands come to the earth or onto your blocks if the earth is a little far away today. Have another inhale, lengthen out through the crown of the head. And then an exhale invites us into our straddle forward fold, our Prasarita Padottanasana. Now from here, we're gonna just let the hands walk their way right through. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, let the crown of the head dangle towards the earth. Gentle bend in the knees, doesn't have to be crazy, but we don't want them locked out. And then we're just gonna spend some time here taking the sit bones and seeing if we can angle them towards the sky. Letting the backs of the legs start to open. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring the hands back in front of you, rising halfway. We're gonna bring the heels in and the feet, so do a little heel toe walk as we drop our way into our yogi squat. So feet are still a little bit wider than the hips, not by a whole lot. Drop the sit bones, get heavy through the heels. Stay weighted through the heels, even if the hips are up here to keep the heels grounded. Perfect, does not matter how low you get. We just want to keep that grounding force through the feet and the heels. So get the elbows inside the legs if there is space. Lift up through the crown, exhale, get a little heavier through the sit bones. Inhaling, exhale, inhale. And exhale. One more. our next breath, we're gonna inhale, rise into our chair, but keep the legs nice and wide here. Reach the arms straight forwards. Really strong, you got it. It's not quite as easy when you can't press the legs into each other, but that's okay. We're gonna strengthen these powerful legs of ours for 3, 2, 1. Rise up tall. Exhale. Let's ground for a moment. Bringing the feet together. Getting ready for some standing balancing. So finding some grounding through the feet, finding our mountain pose. Arches lift, kneecaps lift, quads lift. Back of the shoulders soften down, so feeling yourself stacking beautifully. Front body lifting, back body descending. Let's take an inhale, bringing our right knee up and into the body. Give it a juicy little squeeze. Exhale, just hold here. Testing out our balance, getting ready for adding in a little bit extra. Now from here, we're gonna go for an external rotation. So left hand can come to the hip, right knee is gonna start to extend out to the side. Try not to let the hips go that direction, but engage your right glute. So help turn off the inside of the leg, give us a little more space. Nice lifted heart. Exhale, shoulders staying back and down. You got this. One more breath. Let's inhale, bring the knee back to center. This time, bring the hands to the hips, push through that heel. Extend the leg forwards, gaze to the big toe. Feel the front body contract, nice and strong. Quad lifting, hip flexors, core stabilizing. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, bring the leg up. Exhale, set it down. Maybe have a little wiggle once you arrive. But then we ground. Okay, nice and steady, getting prepared for our other side. Left leg, let's inhale it up. Give it a squeeze to start us off. Just test out, see how the balance is doing on this side of the body. And then when you're ready, we're going to take right hand to the hip, start an external rotation through that left hip. Nice and strong. Lifting. Noticing if you're have any sort of leaning or cantilever balancing effects type happening. Stack the body. It's more work, but it's going to keep the alignment healthy. Build those strong core muscles. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Now let's inhale, bring the leg back to center. Both hands to the hip. Big, strong push. Reach out that heel. Feel the whole front body waking up here. You're still stacked through the rest of the body, shoulders over hips. Breathing, grounding. Our breath is our barometer, so don't hold it. For 3, 2, 1. Gently inhale up with the leg. Exhale, set it down, shimmy, shimmy. Close the eyes. Ground through the feet. Regain your balance. Inhale. And exhale. Fluttering the eyes open, let's have a step to the top of our mat. Inhale, rise with the arms. Exhale, sitting our way down through our chair pose. And then we're just gonna keep going. Seeing if we can touch down gently, just with the help of our core, letting those sit bone muscles touch down nice and easy. Stay lifted through the chest, lifted through the low back, squeeze the inner thighs together. We're gonna rise into our first boat pose, thighs squeezing, core lifting. You can keep the knees bent, you can straighten the legs. Any variation, just try not to collapse and round through the spine. Stay lifted and open. We're gonna stay here for a few extra breaths. You got it. Body quivering and shaking is good. We're teaching those tissues something new. For 3, 2, And one, we're gonna gently touch the feet down, slide them in, find a little butterfly, press the bottoms of the feet together. Inhale, lift the chest, lead with the hips. Hinge at those hips, softly fold your way forwards, reach that heart space. And then maybe we round and fold, or maybe we stay put, it doesn't matter. Just getting into the groins a wee little bit. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, we're gonna rise up nice and tall. Exhale, bringing the legs back and in. We're going for round 2. Got to get the core nice and strong for all the work we're doing in our garden. So rise back, float through the shins, lifting heart, lifting low back. Take it into a different variation if you want to. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently float the feet back in. Pausing as an inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, butterfly pose. We're only gonna stay here for one breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rising, lifting again. Bring the knees in. Squeeze through the thighs, let the arms reach forward. Last one, our best one yet. Finding our way into our strong boats. You got it for 5. Even holding onto the knees if we need for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Touch those feet down. This time we're just going to give ourselves a juicy little hug. So curl the whole body right down and over. Let the head hang. Give yourself some love. You did it. We've worked through lots of hip openers, heat builders. Now we're going to start to soften and cool the body back down as we ground our energies once again. Let's inhale, rising up. Exhale, having a soft, gentle roll all the way back down to the earth. Maybe squeeze the knees in once we get here because it always feels pretty good. Rock it out. Now, if you're practicing outside like me, try not to be in a hole. I'm just gonna do a readjust, there we go. Okay, take those legs to the sky, legs up the wall, flex the feet, baby toes pulling back so that everything is nice and even. Let the hands ground next to the hips. So legs up the wall is an option, exactly what we're in right now. We can stay here, feel the core as it pulls in and helps to stabilize the legs, squeezing the inner thighs, reaching out those heels. But if you want to take it a little bit further and you would like to try shoulder stand, we're going to use the core, support of the hands as we elevate and rise. Getting the hands stacked under the low back and letting the legs, feet, hips all stack right over top of the elbows. Only a soft engagement and pressure through the back of the skull. Working our way into an inversion here. Letting the mind ground, letting the energy reach upwards. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very gently, we're going to help the hips and the spine to roll all the way back down to the earth. Take a moment and just stretch everything out. Nice starfish pose here. Feeling our energy settle and roots. Keeping your audible breath with you. Having a little pause. Bringing the knees back into the body once again, finding happy baby. So knees pulling to the side body, grabbing onto the outsides of the feet or the toes, the shins. Doesn't really matter. Just use a little bit of pull through the arms to help invite the knees towards the side body and towards the armpits. And then we're going to pull the sit bones back down so we can really feel the sacrum and lower back, root back to the earth. Keep the shoulders rolled back and down. Lots of counter poses, or opposing motions actually is what I'm trying to say. Just working through, releasing any lingering tension points in the body. A little bit of final opening through the hips. As we know, when we're Out in our gardens, there's quite a lot of bending and crouching and folding, and a lot of that comes from the hips, hamstrings, the low back, and it can get a little stressed out sometimes if we aren't making sure that we are ready for the movements that we're doing, or easing off any places that we have, caused fatigue in. So I hope practice today has helped warm the body and prepare you for a nice day tending your beautiful garden. So we will release from our happy baby. We're going to keep the right knee into the body, have a reach out through the left heel. Right knee, just squeeze it in tight here. This is our right side wind relieving pose. And breathing the belly and the chest into the leg. And on an exhale, we're going to try and bring the leg into the body. So wind relieving pose, as you might guess, is good for massaging and helping to clear out the digestive system. So use the breath and the pressure on the leg, help to strengthen and amplify our body's natural systems. Now we're going to come into a twist. So left hand staying on the knee, inviting the leg all the way across the body. You're welcome to stick something under the knee if you want to support it and soften the twist. Also pick up the hips and just sort of realign them so they end up back following the straightness-ish of your spine. Extend the arms out. Gaze can softly go towards the right side. Letting ourselves soften and relax into a nice final twist. Twists are such an amazing way to finish off our practice. They are like the wringing out of a sponge. If we think about all the work we did in our practice today to stir up and release tension, anxiousness, energy that's not serving us, you can think of our twists like the final cleansers that just wash it all away. But keep your audible Ujjayi breath with you. There's a tendency to want to let it go once we arrive to the cooling end of our practice. A few extra breaths. We'll inhale, bring the knee back into center. Extend it out for a moment. And then we're going to bring our left leg, squeeze it in, wind relieving pose on the left side. Breathing the belly on the inhales into the leg and the exhales, inviting the leg into the body. And then we're going to find our twist. So right hand helping the leg come across the body. Again, pick up the hips so they can realign with the spine. Stick something underneath that knee if you would like some support. And we'll gently gaze over the opposite way as long as it feels good on the neck, no strains. If not, if you're feeling like the neck is a little tight, keep the head neutral. And then from there, we'll let gravity act upon the body, grounding through the shoulders, grounding through the leg. Feeling yourself soften and relax into our last cleanse on this side. Few more breaths. And we'll slowly inhale, bringing the leg back to center. Once again, have a moment, extend everything out, have a nice little wiggle here. We will get ready to set ourselves up in our final resting pose, Shavasana. Now you're welcome to stay just spread out starfish style, or if you have a couple of blocks and you would like to come into a butterfly variation, the feet can come together, the blocks can go underneath the knees for some support here. Just one final opening for the legs and the groins. As you settle and as you rest, take a moment to, I like to have a full body wiggle once I get here. Just encourages any tissues that are still trying to do work to turn right off and relax for us. Scooping one shoulder blade underneath you, then hugging the other one, helping to open across the chest and the heart, helping to undo any natural slouches. Letting the back of the skull feel comfortable and rested. We're going to take 3 cleansing breaths to help us here in our release and drop us right into our final rest. So let's inhale fully through the nose. Big sigh out the mouth. 2 more. Last one. And with that, feeling yourself resting down comfortably and easily. Feeling all the heat and the intensity of your practice starting to dissipate as your body relaxes into the new space, the softness, and the release that only comes after we challenge and put a little bit of effort into our movements. Enjoying the stillness as it washes over you. Allowing your breath to soften, return back to that gentle, natural and easy rhythm that it likes to come and go at. Feeling the mind becoming much quieter. Each new breath giving you an opportunity for more relaxation. Continuing to let go. Now I will leave you here to continue in your Shavasana for as long as you would like. Continue to rest and ground. I thank you deeply for joining me in practice. I hope that you are feeling ready for your day and your body is feeling strong and warmed and prepared. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.